All right. So my name is Renee Lowry. I am a spiritual intuitive psychic medium, spiritual life coach, holistic life coach, and a label that I had a really, really hard time with. Well, two of them is a shaman and a hedge witch. And so I have learned to really just kind of let it go and be in my own skin about those two labels, even though I really don't care about labels. I just always say I kind of have a little bit of everything. Um, but I'm being told that I have to go about that. One of the areas, or two of the other areas actually, that I really love to express is our soul's journey and shadow work. And to me, on my journey in this lifetime, those have been the two most um, prominent things that have come up for me. You can't have one without the other. And it is very, very important to me that, everybody knows that we are here for our old soul's journey, not for everybody else. Yes, we're here to help other people, but first and foremost, we are here for our own soul purpose. So let me go ahead and present this. Beautiful. So our soul's journey. Um, this is really important. A lot of people don't know what a soul is, where it is, and for other people, it means different things. And everybody's depiction of the soul is correct, right? It's how we interpret things. It's how we have a perspective in this lifetime of who we are. So, what is a soul? This is something that's really important. Our soul is the essence of who we are. I like to tell my clients that your soul has the roadmap of our journey in this lifetime, which when I choose to listen, and my guides are like, when you choose to listen, I have snarky guides, guys. Um, when I choose to tune in, when I choose to listen, which is a lot of the time, um, especially when I am coming up against an obstacle, my soul knows the answer to that. Our soul has the roadmap in this present moment. Spirit can tell you and help you, but your soul is the one that's going to help you in this time and space right now. Our soul knows exactly what we need in this present moment to help us venture through our obstacles with ease and grace. If we give ourselves permission to listen and hear what our soul needs to do and what our soul says, the growth can be huge. I'm really bad about sometimes listening. And I'll admit that. And that is my humanness, right? That's my ego. That is my humanness. And that is okay. And it took me a long time to figure out that it's okay. It's okay to be human because we're here to have that human experience. So, what is the importance of connecting with our soul? The importance of connecting to our soul is as humans, a majority of us are taught to look outside of ourselves for answers. And we were taught that from society, our parents, family, teachers, authority figures, and other societal leaders. And we were always taught that they were the ones that had the answers. We didn't know what we were talking about, right? How many of us grew up in a household where the parents were like, I know what I'm talking about because I'm the parent, right? It took me a long time to adjust that, even with my kids, because I realized that even with my kids, I learn a lot. Sometimes I don't like to admit it, and then I admit it because I am aware. But sometimes I want to be like, you don't know what you're talking about, and then I'm like, yeah, actually they do. They know what they're talking about. When we continue to look outside of ourselves for all the answers, at some point in our life, there could be a sense of feeling like an imposter. So imposter syndrome starts to happen. Sometimes it can feel like confusion on where we would like to go or where we would like to end up. And I bring this up because there was a point in my life with, you guys are with us through the right relationship talk where I looked at myself in the mirror when I was 38 years old and I had a breakdown because I lost myself because I wasn't paying attention to who I was because I was trying to keep up with the Joneses. I was trying to be everything for everybody and forgot to be everything for myself. And that's when that was a wake up call for myself. I was trying to be the ultimate mom, the ultimate employee, the ultimate friend, um, the ultimate person who volunteered for everything. And I really had to take a really hard look at myself and realize, and you guys are gonna think this is horrible, like I hated volunteering for what people told me to volunteer for. I hated that. I hated the fact that I was looking at my friends and like we didn't have anything that was deep. These were not really my friends. These were just acquaintances that really didn't know the real me because I didn't know the real me. As a mom, like, yeah, I was volunteering at the school, I was doing this. I didn't feel like I was giving time to my kids. I wasn't, I was just kind of going through the day to day. And as an employee, that was the only place where I felt connected to people where I could be real because I was in my own little world working with people one on one. And so I had to ask some really hard questions. And this isn't a one and done. This is something that I have to do all the time, right? This is something you think of yourself as a phoenix. Your soul helps you guide, and you're this phoenix, every day you wake up. And so if I didn't start, when I started connecting to my soul, it really opened up this whole place where I could learn about myself and just be myself and learn and deepen the relationship with myself, which is very, very important. So, what is soul connection? Soul connection is a beautiful process in which you get to reacquaint yourself with your truth, your passion, and your purpose. Throughout this connection process, it can be a sense of peace. If we learn to slow down and listen to what our soul wants and follows through with what it needs, the shift in your life can be magnanimous. And yeah, I used a big word and said it correctly. Woohoo! So people don't realize it's actually easy to connect to our soul. It's really easy it can take 3 minutes. People think of meditation and they have to do it for like hours on end and be like Buddha and, all these like the Dalai Lama and all this stuff. And it really, I mean, you can be that. I'm not saying don't be that. You can be that. But as a person who has 3 kids, who works 3 days a week, I literally can maybe do 10 to 15 minutes a day. And it doesn't even have to be that. It's super simple. And connecting to your soul is really learning how to connect to your heart space and really learning who you are, right? And learning to read your cues. So how to connect? Connecting is super easy. It's grounding your energy however way you ground your energy. And if you don't know how to ground your energy, doing a quick ball of light coming down from the universe and going through your body and imagining it connecting you to, just a second, sweetie, connecting to Mother Earth and then coming back up and going back into the universe. It also can be what J. Ray does, which I absolutely love, and they use the three breath, the breathing in, the breathing out, and then just placing your hand. Something that kind of goes hand in hand with my heart brain alignment, and that's something that we can practice today in a little bit. And it's something that I love. The other thing to really connect is sometimes we have these instances where people are like, I can't connect because my brain just keeps going and it goes and it goes and it goes. And, I have to do a mind dump ritual where I go in a journal and I just mind dump everything. And it's, and Leo agrees, even though he doesn't do it. Um, and it's very, very important to do that. It's that way it gets your brain in a space where um, you can just be and you don't have those ticker tape of thoughts happening and everything. And then get into a comfortable position and you can either lie down or sit and then place your left hand on your heart space and just do the heart brain alignment. And that's something that we'll go through. And it's super quick and easy to do. And we'll do that in just a moment. And I want you to keep in mind that part of this process of connecting with your soul is really journaling, right? Journaling down anything that you get, anything. And there are many, many different types of journaling to establish a soul connection. Once you've processed and started to connect, and you ask three important questions: what do I need today? Right? And I'll send this part out as well. What do I need today? What is my message? And a lot of times you might not get a message, but if you hang in there and keep doing the heart brain alignment and you keep connecting, eventually you'll get a message, whether it's through body tinging, tingling, like listen to your body, how you're feeling. It's using the five senses, um, the touch, the smell, the knowing, the hearing, and definitely like what your body is feeling. And asking yourself, what do you need? That is the biggest thing because your soul's going to tell you every day what you need and then take it from there. You either can listen to it or not listen to it. I can tell you from experience that when I don't listen to it, I don't necessarily have a wonderful day. Right? And then as you progress, there are many, many different ways that you can deepen that process and that connection with yourself. And I use different types of journaling. Um, the first one is old school journaling. Everybody hates it, right? Using a physical journal or a pen. I learned to love it. I do have a love-hate relationship because sometimes I just don't want to. So I do use a voice clip, which is not to me from experience when I'm doing shadow work and journaling, which is something completely different. I find physically writing it down actually helps a lot better. But when I'm doing soul connection, if I'm just in that process where I end up channeling, because sometimes that happens to me, with the soul connection, I just use a voice clip and just say, hey, my soul said this today. This is my message. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm, hearing. This is what I'm getting, that knowing. Um, but like I said, old school journaling, people either love it or they hate it. Not today, not right now, buddy. Um, so I know that sometimes having a journal, because I've come up with this and talked about this with clients, it can make people anxious. Their fear is that someone will find their journal, read it, they'll be judged. Um, it really can bring up a lot of vulnerabilities when you journal and people come across that. I understand when I first started journaling and doing a ton with soul connection and shadow work. Um, not to get too far off, but I'll tell you the story. So I started doing a lot when I healing through journaling and therapy and hypnotherapy, um, when I was going through a divorce. And to even take it back, it was like when I felt like I was lost, like I wasn't connected to myself. And so I was doing a lot of healing with my mom, with my dad, with my ex-husband. And when it came time, I kept the journal. Probably not a good idea. But when it came time to move out of the house that I was in with my ex-husband, um, he went through my stuff one day and found the journals and the stuff that I was healing and wrote about him. And he was actually like really upset. And it made me realize like I was embarrassed at first and I felt guilty and I felt shame. And then I realized like he was projecting his feelings of how my perception of him and our relationship in those journals. And I had to basically say, you know what, those are your feelings, and I'm not responsible for those feelings. If you don't like the way I portrayed you, then that's on you. Sorry. And it took me a long time to realize that. Um, if you are not into that and you don't want people, you could also, just open a Word document on your phone or a voice clipping app and do a continuous journaling, with both. One of the huge reasons I'm a huge advocate for journaling is because it provides us both with proof of our connection to our soul. Because there comes a point in time on your journey where you're like, is any of this real? Right? Am I really feeling this, thinking this? Or does it, is it a figment of my imagination? And this gives you the proof that you need, which is beautiful because you can keep going back to what is written because sometimes you need a reminder, and those are reminders for you. And, as I say, sometimes as humans, well, most of us need to see things to believe them versus believe to see, right? And this is why it's important to document your findings after every connection session. And this is where the proof that you believe and trust in your soul and yourself will actually deepen. Okay. So when you connect to the heart brain alignment, there are three questions in the daily practice that you really should start with, right? And I kind of touched upon them already, like what do I need today? And just kind of, sometimes I'll just come as a knowing, sometimes it'll come as a feeling. Just be open to the possibilities of what it's going to be. What message do I need to hear? And that is also just listening, because the more you listen to your senses and the more you listen to your soul, the more it opens you up to your intuition and your psychic senses. It all builds on each other, right? And then this is a funny one. What is my word of the day? And I always think of like Sesame Street, right? What is the word of the day? And I find this important because the word of the day is the thing that will ground you and bring you back to yourself in present moment. When you find yourself kind of stressing out or overwhelmed, when you repeat that word and take a deep breath, to me, it always grounds myself back into who I am and what I needed to do today for myself, brings me right back into my soul aspect. So so people think it's weird that I put that in there, but to me, it really helps to be like, okay, this is my word of the day. So if I'm going, and I'm like, okay, so today the word of my day was present. So I take a deep breath and just put a hand on my heart and just breathe in and say present. And so this is how you can do the beginning connection to your soul. There's a lot more to it, and I do explain it more because we do a soul connection and we do I'm going to stop the recording here. Well, I'm not going to stop the recording. I'm going to stop the presentation. Um, we we're in this process of daily connection, daily soul connection, and allowing it to build up into intuition and then allowing it to build, bringing those psychic senses in. So the deeper you know who you are, you trust, and know your truth, the faster and the more stronger your psychic senses come in. However, I tell people that this is a muscle. Even your soul connection is a muscle that you have to be able to commit to yourself to be able to do this. Just like your psychic senses and your intuition are a muscle, and they all layer upon each other. And so that is the most important takeaway. Like if you want to open up to a whole other being of who you are in your spiritual side, this is a great way to come in. The reawakening your course that is in the Thinkific is a great way to start building upon that. And the psychic senses is going to be coming out within the next month, I just heard. So sorry, I'm not like Jenny. She's like a workhorse. Like every day she like builds, builds, builds. And she helped me understand that through my human design. She was like, you're one of those people that you have to wait and then respond. And then she's always amazed because within like a weekend or a week, she's like, holy cow, you just got done what I just got done in like 3 months. And I'm like, I know it's weird, but it's also like learning patience. Yeah. So um whoop. And so what I would like to do is yes, bud, what? It's all burnt out. It's all gone. It's okay. So what I would like to do is let's go ahead and I'm gonna bring you guys through a guided meditation of the heart brain alignment. And this little monkey, I know, sorry guys. I have kids. You're gonna see people in the background. I'm a mom first. Right? So I'm myself first and my connection first, but I have kids and I have a busy life. Um, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through I'm gonna do the heart brain meditation. And then we're going to ask those three questions and then we'll get what we want. So if you guys want to go ahead and take, just find a comfortable spot, maybe get a piece of paper. Let me take care of him so that you don't hear mom through here. And then I will be right back. Woo! Okay. So I am going to go ahead and bring us through a meditation. I know that Jessica, Deanne, and J. Ray have all been through this, but it's really important and it's short. If you will, I'm going to have you go ahead and take a deep breath in and release. We're going to set the intention that we're going to do the heart brain alignment and we're going to start connecting to our soul self. And take another deep breath in and release. And we're going to call in our higher self, any guides or angels that would like to join us in this moment. And take a deep breath in and release. And if you will, I want you to go ahead and bring your awareness to your brain, right in your third eye region. And I want you to imagine your brain gently floating down from its place in its cradle, floating down through the inner workings of your face, down into your neck column, floating down your neck, floating down into your shoulders, relaxing your shoulders, floating down your chest, and landing gently in your heart space, bringing your awareness down into your heart space. I want you to take a deep breath in and release. With your brain and your hearts together in this heart space and the awareness in there, I would like you to imagine yourself in your heart space. What does your heart space look like? Is it bright green? Is it pink? Sometimes it can look like a turquoise blue. Is it bright? Is it kind of muted in color? Just take note. Take a deep breath in and release. I want you to ask yourself, what do I need today? Just be open to receive. It could be a feeling. You might just know. You might just hear a word. And take another deep breath in and release. And ask to receive a message. Again, be open to receive through your body, through your mind. And last question, ask for a word of the day and just be open to receive. And take a deep breath in and breathe out. Imagine your brain going right back up through your chest, through your neck, back up into your skull. And take another deep breath in and release. You guys can open your eyes. Beautiful. And if you guys did it, I'd love to hear. You guys can unmute yourself and just let us know what you got. That would be beautiful.
Yeah, so I got what do I need today? I need compassion and space. So I guess
Nice.
I need to give myself. On the message that I need is you're on the right track. And so these were things that like immediately just popped into my mind. And so I knew
Yep,
that that's what
that
it
was
was.
it.
It was from
Yay.
my higher self, my soul. So what is my word of the day? And it's love. So
I love that. Love that. Deanne, do you have?
So what kind of stuck with me was my word of the day, and it was be at ease.
Ooh, yes.
I was like, okay, that's kind of deep, um, and everything. And that was during the meditation. That was the biggest thing because, like, so many things coming at us in our day, and it was
Yeah.
just no, just you do what you can, nothing more. It will
Yep.
all it will one, it'll be there the next day.
Yes.
but but so just be at ease.
Yeah.
Be yeah. So that's what
Beautiful.
came through for me.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. Jess, did you want to share?
Sure. Um, what I need, the first thing that came to me was grace,
Mm,
um, which kind of surprised me a little bit, but I think it's there I have a lot going on internally, and I think I just need to be okay
yeah.
with that. So I think that's where that came from. Um, and that's I struggle with feeling like I'm doing nothing, even though I know I'm not, but so I think that's what that's about. Um, the message was to continue to give myself love.
Mm, yeah.
And my word for today was trust.
I love that. Oh, I love that. See? Jerry
Yeah.
knows. And
I
that's
needed it so much I tattooed it on my wrist.
Yeah, I might need to do that.
Daily reminder.
and that's important, and it's so easy to do these three questions because we all seem to know what comes through, whether you're spiritual or not, which is
Yeah.
really amazing, right? So mine was love, and I'm going through this process of like I need to start really aligning my mind and my spirit are already aligned, but now I got to get my body there. So I have to do this transition. And that's been rough for me and figuring things out. So they're doing that. And then my guys are weird. And so my word of the day was egg roll because I don't like egg rolls. I was like, but it'll bring me back. Yeah, that's the first thing that popped through. And so I don't know about you, but my guys are a little snarky and funny sometimes. So yeah,
Well,
they
you know
mess.
mine are.
I know.
Communicating in the way we understand. So
I know, right? And
they are
so
what we need them to be.
Um, and I've been guilty of not, like recently, even not doing this every day because everything's been chaotic. And so I've been really getting back into routine. So, full compliance, like I'm a human in my spiritual world, right? In the spiritual world.
That's right.
And so I lose track of things too when I'm in my humanness. And so getting back into this routine, which literally takes this long, five
Yeah.
minutes a day, right? But it really grounds you into who you are and real what you're learning about yourself every day. So when I was doing it last year, like every single day, like I was on top of my game, right? And then I
Yeah.
just went through a whole bunch of like shadow work and stuff like this, the end of this past year. And, within this last month, I've been my whole family's been super sick. So getting back into this is going to be fun, right? And I tell you this because I'm a spiritual person living a human life just like each one of us. So I'm not perfect even though I'm teaching. And I don't claim to be perfect.
No.
Unless my husband's in the room, then yes, I am perfect. But
As far as he knows.
as far as he knows and what I tell him, I'm perfect. But it's our process. It's learning, right? I'm here to learn, and this is what I'm doing. And so let me stop the recording because that's